inspired to push through. Because there's a spark in you. Breakthrough or bust. Hello, 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 my beautiful souls. Welcome. Welcome either for the first time or welcome back to Breakthrough or Bust. And happy spring equinox to you. Happy Ostara. Oh my goodness. It's been a long winter and we are ready for some spring. Okay, so let's get to it. Just a little bit of a recap, I guess. In the fall, we set our intentions. We planted our bulbs, right? So sort of the bigger things, the big rocks in your life. We set those intentions and planted those bulbs. And over the winter, we, I guess, sort of nourished the soil that they were in. We healed the things that get in the way. We identified the patterns, whether it be the root cause or just the behavioral patterns that came from that root cause. We might have done a little bit of both, and really sort of nourished that soil. So now here we are. We're back to spring, where all that new life and the new beginnings come back up. And so hopefully you have done your work over the winter so that as these new beginnings sprout up again for you, it's not more of the same old patterns. And that's okay if it is. It's okay if it is. A lot of times it's a new level, new devil, right? So, just because you see more of the same doesn't mean you haven't done the work. It just means you might be, you spiral up. So these things come around again, but you're just a little further up now and you have a little more wisdom and you have the tools in place to probably work through it a lot faster. So with all of that being said, we are hopefully starting to see the bulbs sprouting that we planted in the fall. If not, that's okay. It might be the earth is just starting to warm up and they're starting to shake loose. And again, that divine timing that we learn to really embrace over the winter, right? That divine feminine. And now, as we move into that, right, and we remember those bulbs that we planted, now we set some more intentions. We plant the seeds, okay? So, all right, this is the overall what I want in my life. I want family time. I want ease. I want, abundance. I want, right? And these are the big bulbs. Now I'm looking at maybe the more specific areas of my life, like, okay, now here in my career, in order to attract that abundance and still have that joy and ease and be able to have the time with my family, I would like to set this intention. Okay. And now we're going to plant that intention for it to sprout up over this spring season. And then, come summer, it really lights up, right? Catches fire and grows like wildfire. And right. So that's where we are as far as the season goes. And there is, a lot more to this energetically. If you are not already part of my group, Oh Shift, Here We Grow, I welcome you to come join us tomorrow. We will be doing a live get together, virtual. So, live where everybody comes and meets me on Zoom, but, you are in your place. And we are going to be doing some discussion about the energy change, the shift that happens as we move from water to air. We're going to be doing a reading to get some clarity on and some guidance on, the shifts that we want to make as we go through this change. And, just essentially getting ourselves to that higher level, right? And just being the best version of ourselves that we can be, right? So the world is always shifting and changing. How do we want to work with it for our own highest good? How do we make it work for us? Right. And so that's what we're going to do. And super excited. It's a great group of folks. And it's just a wonderful a wonderful support for you. It's like $10 a month, and you get daily channeled affirmations, you get weekly energy updates and healing activities to go with it. And then of course the seasonal events where we do come together and get that guidance to help us through that next few months. So really highly encourage you to come join us there, because it's just a beautiful space. And of course, if you need a little more support, I got that for you too. So reach out. Okay. But for today, what I want to do is a really fun way to plant your intentions, kind of literally. Okay. So this is spring after all. And so what we're going to do is plant some seeds to plant our intentions. Okay. So I actually have two here. I'm just going to take you through the process of one. All right. So we're not here all day, but, right. So I have one for each of the intentions that I'm planting. Okay. And there was one more thing I want to say before I move on to it. Hold on. Yeah, just that. Okay. Just leave it at that. All right. So here's what I've done. I've gotten this really pretty piece of paper. Okay. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. And I cut off a side, and I have, right, gotten the two strips, and I wrote out my intentions in these two areas of my life. And I've written them as if they already are. Okay. I have this. I am this. Okay. Right. One of the great thing I learned many years ago is like goal statement. I am happy and grateful now that ... right? So showing that gratitude now that it has already happened. Okay. Another thing that I'm going to comment on, and I don't know why. So, this can be as simple as you want to make it, or it can be as, elaborate as you want to make it. You choose where you are in this season. For some reason today, I was feeling really elaborate. Okay. And I just wanted to do all the things. So, just fair warning, I took some time off last week to get myself all like relaxed and grounded and ready for this season change. So of course I'm feeling inspired and ready to, make things more elaborate. Okay. So that fair warning, you do not need to do that too. But what I did was, so when I cut these sheets of paper, I dropped a little drop of geranium oil on the paper and just kind of let it spread and then dry out. And then I wrote the intention. And so geranium, right, when we look at our Green Witch cards, geranium is about healing. Okay. And it was very much about healing yourself and being mindful of the way you treat yourself. Okay. So, and then, just a side note, geranium is really wonderful for your skin. So if you want to put that in your skin products, and it's like a fraction of the cost of rose oil. So, but has like all the same properties as rose, which I'll get back to in just a sec, because that's probably why I was feeling inspired to do that. So I'm going to do this one. And I've got my little pot here, and I've got a little bit of soil in there already. So, you can fold it up. For some reason, I like to roll them up. I think I feel like when I roll it, I'm not putting any creases and I'm not creating any like bends or blocks, right? So that's why I kind of like to roll it up, and I just stuff it into the soil. Okay, just push it right in there, and so you can see it right there. All right. Yes. So then what I'm going to do is I have some lavender. Now, typically the way I've always seen this done is with rose petals, and you can completely use rose petals with this. They're a wonderful way to sort of help you manifest, right? To bring it forth. I didn't plan to get rose petals. I was going to use rose hips and realized, oh, I'd run out of rose hips as well. So I started looking at some alternatives and saw lavender and thought, this is right up my alley. This is what I need. Because, of course, lavender tends to be very calming, right? Lavender brings ease to the nervous system. And for me, all right, so let's just go back to me. I'm just going to say this example. So if you have ever seen the movie Tommy Boy, when he goes to the restaurant and he talks about when he tries to make a sale, okay? And he uses the biscuit and he's like, and I love my sale and I love it and then I right? He squeezes the hell out of it and destroys it, okay? So sometimes my energy can get really laser focused and it's like I almost, just destroy the flow, the energy with it. So the lavender brings forth that calm energy, but it's also really good for prosperity and luck and abundance and the properties that you want to help you manifest exactly what it is. So I was like, I think that there was, of course, what are the chances that I was out of rose hips? 100%, right? So that's what I'm going with today. I am doing some lavender and just sprinkling a good chunk right over that. And so again, I'll do the same thing with my other ones. So I like to do one intention per pot. Okay. So this is the other thing. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to add a little bit more dirt on top, right? Because we don't want the seeds buried too far down. So I'll add some dirt. This is the funny thing. Okay, so then I was looking at, well, what seeds am I going to plant, right? And I go over and I look, I had just been, we had our garden work day and somebody had a whole bunch of seeds that they were getting rid of. And so we were all, grabbing some. And I had a few of them that I had grabbed from that day. And I start looking at them and I was like, lettuce. Okay. Well, let me see what I already have some of. And I grab the lettuce and I go over to my little box of packets of seeds. And I kid you not, I don't know why I had it like this, but it was where the backs were facing me. And I would take it out and flip it over, lettuce. Take it out, flip it over, lettuce. Take it out, flip it over, lettuce. There were like 5 packets of lettuce in a row that came up. So very clearly, lettuce is what I'm meant to plant right now. And again, what are the chances of that? 100%. These are where we learn to trust those nudges that we get, those little messages that we get. And when I pulled up, so lettuce is about your desires, the things that you want. So isn't that a nice fit, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just like you would any other plant, go ahead and add some lettuce to it, or the lettuce seeds, right? When you're planting any seeds. And at this point, I feel like most people are familiar with the process of planting seeds. So I'm not going to get super technical because it's really not a technical process, but I'm just going to get a little handful and right there. Can you see? Yeah, I'm going to just get that. And then I'll take it and I'll just kind of sprinkle it over around the top. Now, obviously, once these start sprouting, there may be a need to thin things out, but for right now, that's good. And then I just, because, lettuce is a very fine little seed, that's why I added the soil rather than put the seed deep in, right? Because with a fine little seed like that, we just kind of push it into the soil, right? We don't want it too deep in. And just give it a little push into the soil. And then I will, once I get off of here, I will gently add some water to it, okay? And then keep it misted and keep it under the light. So what's really cool about this is as you watch your seed sprout, okay? So that's what, make sure you get fresh seeds, right? We want these seed sproutings to be as successful as we possibly can, because as you watch these seeds sprout, you're watching that intention that you put in there sprout. And what a really cool thing. And so if you need to, maybe like you could put a little tape on. That's actually what I'm going to do. So I remember which is which because they are identical, right? So you could put like a little tape on there so that you know what the intention was. You don't have to, spill the whole intention on there, but maybe just a cue, a symbol, or, whatever to help you mark if you're doing more than one. So, and then just another little thing. So that was the one I got, the lettuce for this intention. And then of course I want to do the other intention, which is why I have the second pot. And what came up for me, which I thought was also interesting, because this actually came up maybe 2 weeks ago as the energy for this week. And it's chives. So I'll be planting the other one with chives. And the chives are showing us a divination, right? So again, that creating, making things happen, right? Allowing these things to happen. So really cool stuff. And again, it's just always fun to look at, obviously we know that plants have, medicinal properties and dietary properties and all of these things that are so good for us, but sometimes it's kind of fun to look up like the magical properties. And we get a touch of that when we look at essential oils, the aromatherapy and what they do for us, whether like it's the citruses that uplift you and pull you out of a depression, or the lavenders that calm you, lavender and bergamot that's going to calm you. And there's all the different properties that they bring you in so many different ways. And just what another fascinating way to connect with this season than with seeds and this mix of oils and herbs and different things. So, this is just my jam. Okay. This is the stuff that's super fun for me. Thought I'd share it with you. I hope that you can find some joy in it as well. And again, it can be as simple as you just write something down on a piece of paper as you're planting your garden outside and just stick it in the ground and then plant your seeds in the ground, right? It can be as elaborate or as simple as you would like it to be, but just a really fun way to visually watch your intentions sprout. So that's what I've got for you today. Love to hear what you come up with. Please send me either comments or messages of what you end up planting. What ideas you come up with as far as like the herbs that you sprinkle on your intention, or what seeds you're using. You don't have to share your intention, but you know what? If you'd like to, you can, and put it out there so that it gives it even more power. So that's what I've got for you. I see you. I love you. I believe in you, and keep pushing through because there's a spark in you. Mwah. Happy spring equinox and Ostara blessings to you.